If you're not using fundamentals in your trading, then I'm sorry to say, but you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And in today's video, I'm going to fix that. Fundamentals are one of the most skipped over topics when it comes to trading, and I understand why, because it takes a while to learn and it's such a very complex topic to understand. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use fundamentals to dramatically increase your profitability. So I have two goals in this video. Number one, explain such a complex topic easy enough for you guys to understand. And number two, make it entertaining enough for you guys to stay focused. So I need you guys to pay attention because this will tremendously help you out. So watch this video multiple times if you have to. So if you guys are ready to take your trading to the next level, hit that like button because boy, I'm going to bring the heat today. So hit that like button and let's roll the intro. So the question is, what do we need fundamental analysis for? How does it help us? What do we need it for? Why is it so important? Well, we use fundamental analysis for one reason and one reason only. I believe I mentioned this in the very first video that I ever uploaded on this channel. And we use fundamental analysis to determine which direction that we should be trading. And remember, there are three things needed in order to have a profitable trading strategy. Number one, we need to know which direction we should be trading. And number two, we need to know and understand when and where we should enter a trade. And number three, we need to know when and where we should exit a trade. And by the way, you can trade without using fundamental analysis, but if you really want to make a lot of money, if you really want to dramatically increase your win rate, you're going to want to use fundamental analysis. So this is for people who are serious about Forex, not just curious. So let's talk about it. I want to give you an example. Let's look at any USD based pair, any currency pair that has US dollar on the left-hand side as the base currency. All of 2020, every USD based pair has been going down, has been going in the down direction. This pair that I'm looking at right now, this is USD JPY, USD Japanese yen. Let's look at USD CHF. That also has been going in the down direction all of 2020. Let's look at USD CAD. That also has been going in the down direction. Now, I want you guys to look at something. I want you guys to see when the actual pair started going down. I want you to look at it. It started going down around March 19th. I want to paint a story. What happened on this date? Does anyone remember what happened on this date? This is when the lockdowns first started. And by the way, don't take my word for it. Google it. Like, I want you guys to get in the habit of researching this yourself. This is what's super important when it comes to fundamental analysis. Matter of fact, let's Google it together. You'll notice the first result says timeline of developments in 2020, right? So let's go and click that and let's just see what happened in the timeline, just the first result. January 9th, 23rd, February, March 11th, March 13th, March 17th, March 19th. Right here it says California issues statewide stay-at-home order. California becomes the first state to issue a stay-at-home order mandating all residents to stay at home. So this right here was when the lockdowns first started. It was the very first state to go ahead and mandate the actual lockdowns. So I want you guys to notice what actually happened on this date. Let me go ahead and zoom in, make this little candle a little bit thicker so you guys can actually see. So right here on the 19th, if you look at the bottom, it shows March 19th, right? And you'll see this little green candle, the highest it ever went. The candle started here and went all the way up and it said,
"Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right."
And then it went right back down. So from this point forward, it's been in a complete downtrend ever since. And let me explain why. And since that date, there has been a lot of different fundamental factors, things that are kind of going on in the economy, in the environment when it comes to the United States, when it comes to these different countries. And a few of the factors that have kind of affected this US currency is, number one, this is a very risky time for the US. The US economy is at very high risk. So big international investors are pulling their money out of US investments and putting them somewhere else. They're putting their money in things like safe havens. Like, for example, gold. Gold is a very huge safe haven for the world. So if a lot of people are pulling their money out of the US, which is making the US dollar go down, and people are buying gold, which is making the demand go up, you tell me, which direction do you think gold is going? It's going up. So don't take my word for it. Like, literally do your own research and do it yourself. So matter of fact, let's look at gold together. You'll notice on that same date right here, March 19th, right here, is when gold started dramatically shooting up. Why? Because people are putting their money into gold, taking their money out of US. So think about it. Whenever the US dollar is dropping, when you look at gold, gold should generally be going up. Write that down. And on top of that, let me go back to USD CAD. So on top of that, the US is on the brink of a recession. So the politicians, the central banks, the Federal Reserve, that's the last thing that they want to happen in the US. So what are they doing to combat that? What they're doing, they're printing a lot of money. You see this guy over here? This guy has our money printer set to literally 100. Who is this guy? This is our good friend, Jeremy Powell. And he's printed so much money in the US that he's actually become a meme. He has over 1 million views on YouTube since this person uploaded this video of the money printer going. So this guy, Powell, printing a lot of money. What does this even mean? This means the US, we're printing so much money. We're giving out PPP loans. We're giving out stimulus checks. We're giving super dirt cheap loans that people are able to kind of refinance their house. Why? Because they want to keep the economy continuing to run. They don't want the economy to crash. They still want people to spend a lot of money. Therefore, they're giving a lot of money pretty much out basically for free. Now, I want you to think about it. If you were a huge company and the government was giving you money, and if you were smart, what would you be doing with this money? You're not going to go out and buy Lamborghinis. What you're going to do is you're going to use that money to make more money. So they're putting it in the stock market. They're putting it in what's called like the S&P 500. And I'll show you. We'll pull up the S&P 500 chart. And you'll see when this whole little dilemma happened back in February, when it came to the US, everything started dramatically dropping. And then what happened? Smart money was like, you know what? The prices are low. We're getting a lot of free money from the government. So what are we going to do here? We're going to buy low and then sell high. Because here they're getting it at a super cheap discount. So of course they're going to buy here so they can eventually sell higher. And by the way, if you don't know what the S&P 500 is, essentially what it is, it's a bundle of the top 500 stocks in the US. It's a bundle of the biggest 500 companies in the US. But let's go even deeper, because when it comes to fundamental analysis, we need to think even deeper. This is like playing chess. We always need to think as deep as we can to truly understand what's actually going on. So if the S&P 500 is going up, we need to think about it. What's actually in the S&P 500? What are the companies that are contained within this bundle of these 500 companies, 500 stocks? And a majority of these companies are what's called tech companies. So now we put our little fundamental analysis hat on, we put our smart cap on, and we do some more digging, right? So how big is the tech sector in the S&P 500? Let's figure it out. Right here, it says how much of the S&P 500 is tech? Right here, it says around 23%. And matter of fact, I want you to look at this right here. It says FANG, right? So I'm going to go and click this. What FANG is, and I'll click it, I'll show you. First of all, it says 15%. What FANG is, it is actually one of the 5 biggest companies. So what are the tech companies, right? They're Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. And this is how we go deeper and actually think about what's actually happening. So I want you guys to think about it. Everyone's stuck at home. No one can go anywhere. And a lot of these tech companies are in the perfect position to be there for people who are literally bored at home.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Let me ask you this. Are people going to be on Facebook when they're just chilling at home? Of course. Are people going to buy things from Amazon when they just have nothing better to do than go on Amazon and browse around? Because they don't want to go to Walmart. They don't want to go to the store. They'd rather buy toilet paper directly from Amazon. What about Netflix? Are people spending more time at home watching Netflix? Of course. Are people going around and Googling things and going on YouTube and just entertaining themselves and just using the actual Google services? Of course. So think about it. What's happening with Zoom? That's another tech company. What about Shopify? People are making all these online stores. People are selling things. People are buying things from all these online stores. All these tech companies are extremely going up. So matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at them. So if the government gave you millions and millions and millions of dollars essentially for free, what would you do with it? Would you go ahead and buy Amazon? And you'll see that if you were smart, if you did buy Amazon the same time, you would have had what type of an increase? Over 100% gain on your money, when the S&P on average per year around 8 to 10% growth on your money each year. Here, you know that, okay, we're in a perfect time and perfect opportunity right now. Everything's down and people are going to be using Amazon a lot. So let me go ahead and put my money into Amazon and gain a quick over 111% gain. What about Facebook? Would you want to put your money in Facebook, getting over a 112% gain? What about Netflix? Putting your money in Netflix, getting over a 93% gain. What about Shopify? Getting a 300% gain. This is tripling your money in less than a year. Imagine if the government gave you $300 million and you just essentially tripled your money just by investing in the right places. What about Zoom? Doing the same thing with the money right here from March, buying low, selling high, getting almost a 500% gain on your money, quintupling the amount of money that the government gave you. Would you, as a smart investor, would you be buying this? Of course. So of course, all these prices are going up. And that's why the S&P 500 is going up, because a majority of the S&P 500 is the tech sector. That's why you see the stock market going up while the US dollar is dramatically dropping. So going back to USD CAD, the US dollar is dropping so much because the Federal Reserve, our friend Powell over here, is printing so much money that there is so much supply of the US dollar. And there's not enough demand. Why? Because international investors are taking their money out of the US dollars and putting it into safe havens, right? So there's not a lot of demand for the US dollar, but there is so much supply. So what happens when there's a lot of supply and not enough demand? Prices drop, the value drops. It's completely opposite of what's happening with the PlayStation 5 right now. What's happening with the PlayStation 5? There's so much demand and not enough supply. That's why you go on eBay and Craigslist, you'll see people selling the PlayStation 5 for $800, $1,100, $1,200 like hotcakes. Why? Because there's so much demand, right? That's the exact opposite of what's happening with the US dollar. And all the traders who I've coached, the ones who do trade the US dollar, what have they been doing? They've been shorting. They've been selling. They've been selling this whole past year. They've been finding entries, trades going in the down direction. Why? Because there's a fundamental reason, understanding which direction the trend is going. So they've been making thousands and thousands of pips all the way down on any USD pair. And can anyone guess what the majority of traders have been doing? What the retail traders have been doing? The retail traders have been looking to go long. They've been looking for buys. They've been looking for what's called like the double bottom. They've been looking for the little W pattern.
W for Wumbo.
Patrick, I don't think Wumbo is a real word.
And I agree with you, SpongeBob, because we're following exactly what the institutions are doing, exactly what the market makers are doing, exactly what the smart money is doing. We are trading in the same direction as they are because we understand fundamentally why the price is moving in a certain way. And we are trading with smart money and not against them. Why? Because these institutions are sharks and they smell that retail blood in the water. And it's been quite a bloodbath in the past year for retail traders. And that is why I spend 2 weeks in my private coaching program going over fundamental analysis. And just to be clear, I don't tell you what to do, but instead I teach you how to think, because that's the only way you're going to be as good as me. And I'm not saying I'm the best trader in the world, but I'm a hell of a lot better than most people. Why? Because I've worked my ass off. So when it comes to fundamental analysis, we need to think, why is the price moving a certain way? What are the certain drivers, right? We need to always be kind of asking all these different questions to ourselves. I want you guys to look at GBP JPY. And I want you to kind of ask yourself, why is this going up? Matter of fact, look at any currency pair that has a JPY at the end of it. Let's look at USD JPY. It has been going down, just like I said. However, it is also one of the JPY pairs. So look what it's doing as of recently. It's going up. Let's look at another JPY pair. Let's look at AUD JPY. Which direction is it going? Up. Let's look at NZD JPY. What direction is it going? Up. Let's look at CAD JPY. What direction is it going? up. Any currency pair that has a JPY, it's dramatically going up. So now you can kind of tell yourself, you can kind of give yourself a hint of what news you need to be looking for, because obviously there's something happening with JPY that's causing all of these currency pairs to go up. And as traders, we need to figure out what it is. You guys need to figure out exactly what's going on so you understand what is fundamentally driving these currency pairs. Let's look at Euro AUD. If you guys remember, in I think like a few videos ago, in the candlesticks videos, I literally showed you guys this trade live as the trade was running right here, right at the very beginning of this entry. Look how many pips it is down now. This was literally 3 weeks ago. I entered this trade 3 weeks ago, and you'll notice going on the 4-hour chart, you'll notice this trade right now is in 400 pips profit. Now, you have to understand fundamentally what's causing Euro AUD to go in this direction itself. What's actually causing it to go this way? If you understand what's fundamentally driving these currency pairs, you'll know with high probability which direction you should be trading. That's how this is super, super, super important. So you can trade without fundamental analysis, that's fine. But if you dramatically want to increase your win rate, fundamental analysis, adding that onto your trading, you will dramatically increase your win rate. And if you guys don't remember this trade, I'll link the video right above so you can kind of watch that candlestick video. And I know fundamental analysis is such a complex topic, and I'm trying to do my best to explain this in a condensed, digestible format. So I want you guys to actually go to the comments below. If you're still watching this video, go to the comment section below and let me know. Let me know if I'm doing a good job explaining this to you guys, explaining such a complex topic, because I'm genuinely curious, because you guys have been showing me a tremendous amount of love on the like button because I've been asking you guys. So thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. But I'm genuinely curious, like, am I explaining this in a well enough way for you guys to actually understand? That's kind of easy for you guys to actually get. Go ahead and go to the comment section right now and let me know, because I'm genuinely curious. So, and also real quick, I want to mention just earlier today, actually, matter of fact, what time is it? 6 a.m. So actually yesterday. So just yesterday, Powell, our friend Powell, had a speech, and what happened during the speech is the US dollar dramatically dropped. And I want you guys on your own time to figure out why the US dollar dropped. Matter of fact, a lot of the markets dramatically moved because of that speech. So for example, let's go ahead and go to like USD JPY, and let's kind of zoom in to when that speech happened. And that speech happened right here on this candle right over here. This is when all the markets dramatically moved. That's one. Let's go ahead and look at USD CAD. Same thing right over here. It dramatically dropped. Let's look at another pair, Euro USD. This time USD is on the right hand side. So now this pair dramatically went up. Right here, same spot. Let's look at GBP NZD. I took this trade, took the short here. Right here, this dramatically dropped. Pretty much every market got moved. And remember, since the US dollar dropped, USD CAD, the US dollar dropped, you guys tell me, think to yourself, what happened to gold? What happened to gold? Let's go to the 10-minute time frame and look at when this whole thing dramatically dropped. Now let's go to gold, XAU USD. What happened to gold? Dramatically shot up. Matter of fact, if you measure the pips, gold dramatically went up to over 2,000 pips. And guess what happened? I saw tons and tons and tons of traders on Instagram literally in a bloodbath. So many people on Instagram that I saw earlier today, well, yesterday, like blew their accounts or pretty much erased all the profits that they made this whole week. And it's crazy, because why? US dollar dropped, gold goes up. It's all fundamental analysis. So hopefully that gives you a very, very clear understanding of exactly what to look for, exactly what to understand, and how to kind of think to yourself and try to figure out what's happening with the markets, what's happening with the different economies based on the currency pair that you're looking at, and how to determine which currency pair, which actual country itself is affecting the currency pair itself. So for example, any US-based pair, USD CAD, USD JPY, what was affecting it all of 2020? The actual USD was affecting it. What's affecting a lot of pairs now? The JPY. Japan, right? And what's happening with gold, what's affecting gold, it's what's happening in the US. The US news is affecting gold. And so you guys should do your own research, try to figure out why is GBP JPY going up and why is, for example, Euro AUD going down. Do this type of research, figure it out, do your understanding, and try to figure out how this stuff is actually working. All right, guys, it's 6 a.m., so I have to edit this video for you guys. I've been making a lot of content tonight for you guys. So if you guys found this video valuable, go ahead and let me know. Go to the comment section right now and comment down and let me know if this was actually useful and if this was put in a format where it's kind of easy to understand. And go ahead and like the video if you haven't already, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can get updated and notified whenever I do release videos, because I'm going to be consistently putting out fire like this and you don't want to miss it. Talk to you guys soon.